So this week we are in Tokyo. Yeah, I'm back in my second home in Tokyo. So we're out of the forest. We usually film by the fire. And we will have the 5D, 5-dimensional updates in section 2. And now we're gonna go directly into this week for your sign, filmed in Tokyo during Mercury retrograde. A lot of challenges communication-wise, a lot of love for us all, if we dare to open up. Welcome to the show. Welcome to your sign. So Aries, welcome to your modern shaman Maria in RainbowLand here from Tokyo this time with the weekly astrological forecast for the week that starts at the 26th of November and ends at the 3rd of December 2018. I am close to the Tsutaya bookstore, which is a really nice place in several buildings, 7 floors with books and magazines from all over the world and a lot of culture and art and, as they say in Japanese, Nihonjin wa totemo shinsetsu na hito desu. And that means that the Japanese people are very kind people. When you are here in Japan and you go to a restaurant, you see no criminal. You have no fear of that someone is gonna steal or rob you. So actually, if I have my computer and I'm sitting at a restaurant or my telephone or my credit card even, I could leave it at my table as I go to the toilet, and it will not be stealed. Let's just see where we are right now. I know the front camera is not so good, but the Danish embassy is just over here. It's a pink building that you see in the background. That is the Danish embassy. And then you have the Egyptian embassy a little further down the street. And so my partner works over there. It's a beautiful day. And this week we are starting off with also having Neptune. Just move my stuff a little bit. We're also having Jupiter and the Sun in a conjunction this week as well. And I hope that the sound is alright. I had a lot of technical issues last week. I had to re-record things many times, especially for the Spanish versions. So now I just chose to take the light way because I couldn't access my hard disk. So we just do it with the telephone this week. Let me just move back here. Just a second. Looks funny with the hair, right? So Aries, we're gonna draw some tarot cards for you this week. And a tarot card and an astro card here. And then we're of course gonna go into the week. But the week starts out with a top enthusiasm. Of course, it's always a mixture. In astrology, it's never just, good aspects. When people come for private sessions, or they want to know when to have a wedding or when to do this and that, and want me to find the perfect time. It's like in astrology, there's never just the perfect time. There's a very good evening sometimes, but there's often always just some aspect there. So it's not so much about how you feel, but how you take it, In Danish, you say this, det er ikke så meget, hvordan man har det, men hvordan man tager det. And directly translated, it's about like, you decide how you choose to deal with the things and what you choose to focus upon. Because this week it's also a week with Jupiter, with top enthusiasm, in this section of your horoscope to do with look at this little dog. They love dogs here. With the good fortune, travel, expansion, higher education, things to do. Oh, I was blocking the camera. I'm sorry. Things to do with the professional courses or qualifications in general. And with Jupiter here, with the Sun, it could be like you are really expanding something, expanding your mind, but also it could be traveling, going abroad, and for the next 11 months there's a good chance to excel in this area. So it's all about you taking advantage of these things at the same time, we have a lot going on in the more sensitive sector of the scope, and that is, of course, the 12th house where we are having our planet. So you will definitely be dealing with the heightened sensitivity, and you will be dealing with a desire to have some more quiet reflection and introversion. And I think we have some people from Sweden here, so I could just hear it sounded a little bit like Danish. So that's the fun thing about being here in Tokyo, of course, that you see a lot of nationalities as well. But Denmark is quite popular here, even though we are such a small country. Instead of just looking at me, I'll just discreetly give you a sense of the Japanese culture by doing a little bit like this while I'm talking. But okay, but with emotions can be kind of volatile with Mars in the 12th house. Things especially linked to the past can come up. And generally you can find yourself quite sensitive this week, as I said. And also because we have the Mercury retrograde still. Maybe you meet someone whose enthusiasm isn't at the same height as yours, who's trying to put out your fire, who doesn't have the same sense of understanding of what you wish to achieve. It's very beautiful back here also. I don't know if the front camera is that good actually. Let me turn it off and turn it on again. So if you meet someone who doesn't have the same sense or understanding as you have, you can get quite frustrated rather fast. Just while I'm talking, I'm going to show you how they're so quiet. Japanese people like to sit and read, and they're so peaceful and kind. And they also have a special style. Very stylish people. And when I say stylish, I don't mean like in the snobbish stylish. I mean like very creative, like express themselves through colors and fun and humor and love and joy. They love hearts. So every time they see me with hearts like this, they love that. And they're also quite open with astrology, for example. But anyways, another issue is Mercury retrograde, and so if you are fine planning some kind of agreement you're trying to get with someone, you have to know that you can progress forward. To progress forward with these things, it really requires care in this case. So you have to know that Mercury retrograde, of course, is about controlling the things we can and accepting the things that we cannot control. I know that it's always like that, but especially during a process like this, the Mercury retrograde is like that. But the thing is also that when you gotta have a plan B here, because if you're traveling somewhere and there's a chance that there might be some kind of delay or something with electronics, it's bigger. So leave in really good time is my advice for you. And Mercury in Sag is also international affairs, so there's a quarter moon, a square going on, and that is balanced. What you need to do for yourself compared to what others expect of you, so that you don't get caught up get too caught up in your freedom and independence. Some people in your life will not appreciate this, but find a balance, because if you make it all about others, maybe you're gonna, suppress yourself so much that you will be, because you're too cared about supporting others and like this, and maybe you'll be burning yourself out somehow. If you're too focused upon obligations, you can kill your creativity and your enthusiasm, and so find a balance between these things. So maybe I could have found a more interesting place to sit, but it's been a rather challenging week. I came here after my operation, and things electronically just started to be quite tricky. So I also want to sit at a place where I feel nice, so that I can tune in to what to say. And you can see there's nice beautiful trees here, and this, even though we're in the middle of Tokyo, and they like bicycles also, by the way. And here you see how stylish people are, right? Also like men. And you can say, but isn't that a superficial thing? And I would say no, because like I express myself here, or I express myself through colors when I design clothes, or when I write music. It's not even myself I express with the music, I get the songs delivered. But then people here, they use how they dress as an expression of creativity, and I really love that, because it's exciting, of course, as when I'm making walking art and I'm a clothes designer, so of course it's more exciting for me. But imagine that people, you know, they like here, for example, look how beautiful she looks. The white skirt, and the, you know, it's nice to it's inspiring to look at people, I believe, that put something nice and colorful or special on themselves. I don't know. Of course, my place is nature. That's why I found this location. But there's a lot of green areas here in Tokyo, and you can see there's not that many people, right? So no matter where we are, we can always find those little spots where we feel comfortable. So we always have to focus upon the positive, because it's a very positive week. At the same time as we're having the challenges, and people might not understand us fully. On the other hand, I mean, Venus is again in opposition to Uranus, so this means that you can share excitement with Uranus here in your sign, like, you know, suddenly you are but maybe craving for more drama, or craving for more, something has to happen here. And in your love life also, it could definitely also be your love life, because of the Venus in your 7th house, that you want to hear more. Look at this. As I said, they love dogs. If you're looking for more excitement here, like if you're single, maybe you'll be more curious and or keen to open up to different kinds of people that are a little, you know, with Uranus, it's always like, can be a little strange people, like compared to what you usually hang out with, you're more open to. So if you are in a settled relationship, it's a really good idea this week to try to recreate the feelings and you know, get some sparks on and start looking upon new things, new ways to you know, spark up your love life. Definitely. With the North Node, I mean, or breaking out of routines. What I mean also in your love life, but with the North Node in Cancer, in our 4th house, it's everything to do with the home and family, and maybe even getting a new home, or redecorating your home, or moving to a new place, or like emotionally having a new foundation of how you are with your loved ones or with your family members. So let's take the card of the week, the 2 cards of the week for the Aries. Card of the week for the Aries, the tarot card is this card. Let me just pull, while you look at it, I will pull the astrology card. That is kind of like the little different thing than what we have in Europe. They have the dogs in a child carrier. That's a little strange for me. The dog really wants to smell, so of course that can be some kind of like the minus. Some might think, I mean, we're all different. So, isn't that interesting? Look at this. That's why I love astrology. Mercury retrograde reinvention. That is exactly what we have. There's many cards. There are many cards, and it's so fun that we draw this card. It's so clearly what I have to say now, because this woman thinks in her head. It's the swords. That's the mind. Our thoughts and our communication. Mercury is the planet of communication and the mind. This woman thinks she's trapped and that she can't go anywhere, and there's poison that she can't step on the ground, and she's blindfolded, she can't see, she don't have her hands free, and there's swords. But actually, she's free to move, she can just walk around it. Mercury retrograde is showing us a way out of how we get trapped in our mind, depending on where you have Mercury, because if you have Mercury, for example, in Gemini or Virgo, you'll be very rational. If you have it in Pisces, you can be trapped in your own thoughts, like in a fish tank, or you can be divinely inspired, etc., etc. Depending on where you have Mercury in your chart, it's probably somewhere where you're stuck in your old thought patterns of probably worrying. This is a worry. She's worried, anxiety, and feel trapped and don't know what to do. Mercury retrograde is trying to show you now that there are other ways of thinking. You don't have to be like you always were if it's negative for you, because we manifest with our thoughts. Our thoughts are that strong. Someone used to say that if you only knew how strong your thoughts were, Babaji was his name, you would never dare to think. So it's up to you if you want to keep yourself trapped in old thought patterns, or if you want to change your ways. It's a super good idea to be aware of what you're thinking in order to change your life. So of course I want to say one thing, and that is, don't follow trends, follow your heart. That will always take you where you need to go, even though you sometimes think you aren't in the right place. Doing so busy, and you are. You just change your perspective sometimes. With all of this in Sagittarius, it's a time to expand your mind and think in new ways. It's time to break out of any negative thought patterns you have from your parents, from your childhood, and start all over. We need to raise our vibration level, and we don't do that by expecting and worrying all the time. Trust the process. Have faith in the trust process always, even if it seems hard, or it's something you used to be scared of, or it's something that used to freak you out or used to freak your parents out. Try to see if you can manage to just trust, then see what happens. You can just, attract the most amazing things in your life if you dare to do that. See you in section 2, where we'll go a little bit around Tokyo. Welcome to section 2, 5D updates for you. So as I said before, Mars is in Pisces now, since the 15th of November. That is the 12th house collectively. And as we're talking about the 5D, and this is a program where we will every week go into how to upgrade and update your 5D, then prayer is something very important here. And for 5D, the 12th house is essential. So Mars being our actions, our motivation, getting things done with self-esteem, wanting to push forward, energy, then yes, of course, we need to talk about Mars and Pisces in regards to the 5D upgrade. With Mars and Pisces, we are less motivated to go after the 3D goals. We're more motivated to pursue the spiritual or more emotional drives during this cycle. And it's gonna go on until we reach January, where Mars is returning to Aries. So we should always try, or we could always try, to take advantage of wherever a planet goes, and whenever a planet enters a certain field, there's certain doors that just opens that much easier. That's why I make these reports, for you to be notified about what you can take advantage of now. Our energy during a phase like this is more variable rather than straightforward, and also up and down. We dislike confrontation during this period, which is good, because Mars often gets into a battlefield. So we often put other people's needs ahead of our own during this cycle. So that is our more idealistic side that comes to the forefront. But prayer has also got to do with the 12th house. And why is it important to pray? And what is prayer? Well, a prayer keeps us connected with our higher selves, that knows which way we are meant to go, and thereby detaches us from our egos, the source of our desires being our egos and wishes, that are often disconnected with conscious and fully open contact with source, creator, master, God, whatever you want to call it. We're reminded of what we came here to this planet Earth, this beautiful planet, to develop towards on the path. Well, if we surrender ourselves 100% completely, as we close our eyes and quiet our minds and say a prayer, you might have a fixed prayer, or you will have a prayer that is a prayer of your heart, coming from your heart. Maybe it's a prayer for someone else that you love to be in a better state or to get well. A prayer is always that much stronger when it comes from the true space of an open mind and open heart. Because if it stems from the ego, you will probably attract something that your ego needs and not your higher self, and that won't ever get you going any further forward. So of course, before finding out what you want to pray to, I mean, within different traditions, there are different prayers already handed to us if we need help. But it's a good idea to get to know that you're in contact with that side of yourself that you really want to move forward with, so that your prayer also get aligned with that. Let's say you choose to pray for that you can be less selfish and more selfless. It can also be that you pray for that you are less reactive and more responsive from the heart. It can also be that you want to go from restlessness into peacefulness, from darkness into light, or from heaviness to lightness. These would be the kind of prayers that would come from your higher self. These are the kind of prayers that our higher selves often wish for, because the higher self knows that if we make prayers like this, it's the same as getting fully into alignment with our higher selves. Because our higher selves are light, are peaceful, are selfless. That is the essence. What we are outside of our 3D bodies, our ego, our mind. I'm not saying that we should not use the mind. I'm just saying that there should be a balance, a natural balance. It is not natural for a tool to be in charge, and the mind is a tool we can use when we need it. We made it as us, as something that we identify with. But it is not. We can close the door and open it only when we need this tool. There are places where it's easier for us to connect with our higher selves. For instance, where I usually do the reports, the weekly reports, is in the nature, or where I have been doing it for the last months since I went away from Tokyo last time. So much easier because in nature we are in harmony with ourselves, because it's natural there. Our heart beats naturally, our breath gets into natural alignment with all there is. Sometimes in the bigger cities, when we're around people who are also affected by the inevitable noise and vibrations coming from all sides, disturbing our natural harmony, well, the ego takes over so much more easy. This week, for the first week in a long time, I'm filming from Tokyo, but also here I can see the beauty. Even though we have modern buildings, you can see the aesthetics and the beauty and how they are shaped, and the lights in the night. Find what is mysterious here. Find what calls for the heart. Find what makes you sing. Find the nameless in this city full of names and signs. You can give yourself the time to let time fly. Release yourself from the 3D linear time and go into synchronistic time. As I said last week, that time where you wait for the signs, you don't make your ego react and take the choices, make the calls, unless you really have to, because we still live in a 3D world. But whenever you're able to, listen to the signs instead of your mind. Listen to your heart. Listen to your higher self. Be quiet. Quiet your mind, so that you can hear your heartbeat. If you want to jump off the train and come to another level, time is now to find the stillness. Believe that you dare let go of your ego and listen to the needs of your higher self. Do you dare to become a servant for something bigger than the ego? Something that a part of you already know the road towards. Do you know what your call is? What is your call? Mercury retrograde is here to bring chaos and confusion to your winter holidays, they say. But not just that. It's also here to make you reconsider how you can communicate on another level with wisdom instead of the old patterns of communication. Benefits will come that exceeds the goals of finding peace once you dare to listen to your higher self. I swear to you, that journey is so much more beautiful than any journey your mind can imagine. Maybe you want you want to get out of a stressful life and into a peaceful life. Maybe you want mental clarity. Maybe you want to find this inner peace. But I tell you, if you allow yourself to find the right tools to get into your higher self, there's a prize that you will get far, far bigger than anything you can feed your ego with, something that will last. I found my way through following the signs of synchronicity for 20 years. I used meditation, I used yoga, I used kindness above it all. I fell many times, fell through, but I got up again and I continued to follow my dreams in my heart and inspire people towards kindness, towards their calling, towards the life that is natural for us to live in harmony and balance, in love and kindness, where joy lifts us up and cleans us, where we take responsibility in our relationships and live conscious relationships. But the choice is yours. You can make the difference around you, all around you, but you have to make the choice. The choice is yours. Every day, every time you speak to someone, every time you do anything, you can choose to be aware. You can choose to be in a meditative state or a 5D state where you feel that your body is just, what do we say? We call hylster in Danish. What is it called in English? Just a shell. The soul is so much greater, wider, bigger, and wiser. Write me privately if you want me to find a meditational teacher for free, a free one somewhere near you, no matter where you live, if you want to try to use this tool that I have. There are many tools. As long as you follow your heart, then you know you're on the right path. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu, as we say in Japan. Don't follow trends, follow your heart. Hugs. Neptune retrograde is also this month, or this week actually, that it goes forward again after 5 months. November 25th, it turned forward, to move forward. And Neptune rules over spiritual evolution, over personal transformations and dreams. When it goes retrograde, it takes away delusions and makes room for realities in these areas. Neptune retrograde will have pushed you into doing things and getting real, rather than just spending your time thinking and dreaming about your future in the areas it has been touching in your life personally. Neptune retrograde clash with the effects of Mercury retrograde because they are in square, and also for the qualities of these two. During Mercury retrograde, we're encouraged to take things slow, think everything through, and reflect, revise, reconsider. Uranus, who we also have in retrograde, is all about change, so different from Neptune retrograde. Neptune retrograde gives us the energy to get things done. It's been a good idea to still take things slow during the last 5 months, to not don't do or say anything big without giving it a lot of consideration. The Mercury retrograde can mess with our ability to have serious conversations, to truly understand what people are trying to say to us. 3 times a year it goes retro, changing speed in its orbit around the sun, making it look like it moves backwards. This change affects us all here on Earth. Communication, movement, and technology issues. Any general feeling of confusion gets to come up. On November the 16th, Mercury went retrograde for the last time this year. So this will have an effect on all of us. And it's not bad at all. I mean, it's not only bad. Because, of course, I'm standing here in an airport and everything is delayed, and I'm in another plane because the other plane didn't come, and so many things. But at the same time, I have been solving so many communication issues. Mercury retrograde is about taking things slow. That's why delays come, and thinking and reflecting upon the past. So this period isn't the best time to make a life-changing decision or to start something new, although you might be feeling certain changes due to the Venus now forward and Mars out of his cycle. But seen from the Mercury aspect, it's a good time to go over things, question your motives, and look into your soul. Speak with your higher self to see what you want to continue doing. Mercury retrograde gives us the opportunity to improve how we communicate our messages, our whole essence, and our energy vibrations to others. reflecting and figuring out how to proceed with your life is a great way to end the year, a cycle, even though this year, or the new year as we call it, isn't an astrological new year, because this is in Mars, where the cycle, the astrological year cycle, ends with Pisces, starts with Aries in the second part of March, and the latter part of March. But it's a really good starting point in getting a fresh start as we enter January, where Aries will also get back into his sign and start over new. Of course, Mercury retrograde will affect some more than others. Learning to walk again. Many signs have felt these times as learning to walk again, taking things slowly. I have heard 3 of my personal clients tell me these words during the last couple of weeks. I am learning to walk again. Not only learning to communicate all over, but to walk our talk. And physically, for me, with my knee operations, to walk again in a new way. Venus is in Libra, is moving forward. And until the 18th, she's still in her cycle. But she's finding balance. We are finding balance in our relationships. How is this going on for you? Now in December, we are going to have her in the sign of Scorpio once again. Interesting. Because this is another energy. She's at home here in Libra. But on the 2nd of December, she moves back into Scorpio to go very deep on a level where we will transform. Thank you.
No sigas las tendencias, sino tu corazón.